morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Community Live broadcast of the WTRL Team Time Trial number 140. We're out on a climber of a course, two very steep climbs up the Bologna TT course. So, Dave, I think a little bit of a challenge out here today. I was told there's over 600, is it 600 teams, is that right? Something like 600 some teams, though, still showing up today for this. So, obviously up for the challenge, the community out here today. And going to be interesting. We do have a couple of the teams from the men's side of things. All right, 655 teams, I'm being told, jumping out on course right now. So, well, not right now, but throughout the day today. So going to be interesting to see how they take this on. We do have course records because this has been done before. Exact date, maybe I can get our data man in the background, let us know, because these course records I can see we're set. We're going all the way back to August 1st of 2019, actually, for one of the course records. So, last year, December 24th, one day later on Christmas Eve, and then today, we did have one course record set by On the Drops. Actually, speaking of course records, why don't we just go take a look at them if I'm going to sit here and chat about them at all for just a moment. But Dave, I mean, this course, very, very challenging.
It takes a special kind of team and athlete to like racing on this course. I'm surprised, with it being 2 days before Christmas, I'm surprised to hear. It speaks to how much people love WTRL Thursdays and this discipline of team time trial. Well, so there you go. That's a blast from the past, as that was right in the beginning of a monster run from Sox or Watts, WRT there. You can see that 50-31. This 32 kilometers has, as you mentioned, it's 2 trips up the Bologna climb, which is more or less 10% average for 2K. So making that 4K total, that is a lot of time climbing. Nathan, I can't imagine we're going to see. I think I say this a lot, but with a course this severe, Martin must view this as some kind of a gift, but I think people look at it as a living hell, to tell you the truth. Most teams finishing with, any team finishing with more than 5, I'll be pretty impressed.
Yeah, and I think the story of the day is keeping it all together. Keeping it all together today, I believe, is going to be the main goal for most of the teams, as it will be a little bit difficult, I think, to just make sure everybody's kind of on the same page as far as what they should be doing when it comes to the climb. Speaking of the climb, we are out with our latte crew, the first ones to get out on course, as we do see it is going to be the DBR Snack Shakes coming out of Denmark. DBR, the Danish bike riders here, racers, DBR. They're out here killing it, it looks like, so far. 6 riders, lots of Trons I'm seeing showing up. Now, Dave, bike selection today, I think a lot of times when you get into these climbing type courses, definitely becomes a much bigger conversation, because the bulk of where you're going to be gaining a lot of time on this course is going to be uphill. And interesting enough, the Cervelo has been selected, though, by a few of these riders here. We do see the Tron, which is more of an all-arounder, though, by the back 4 there.
So if you're an incredible, but you start maybe even overanalyzing, to tell you the truth, but right, if you're an incredibly good climber, Nathan, no reason to waste the bike advantage on a climbing bike. You're already faster than your teammates, right? So does having a more aerodynamic bike make the most sense? I think it does, to tell you the truth, because then you should be able to go a little bit faster on the flats when you take longer pulls there as well. So I'm speaking from that perspective, the strongest rider. For the weaker rider on the team, absolutely the lighter bike, right? Do you follow my logic there?
Yeah, I mean,
depends on who you are.
Yeah, there is a good, and there's also, if the whole team gets on climbers, then it's like this equalization.
You want your climbers on the least advantageous bike to them, right? And vice versa, I think.
I mean, I don't know. Like, so here's where I'll go with
Good
that.
question.
My take on team time trialing is how in control of the situation are you, and how in control of your ability
Well,
to go harder are you? How could like and so if you're in control of your ability to put more power out at any moment, that
but
means that you're going to be able to move amongst the pack better, right? And so
so you're talking from an individual perspective versus because it's sort of a living organism, the entire team, right?
yes, and my ability to play my role within the team, depending on what part of the course we're on, is going to be dependent on how able I am at any moment to change position, to
So,
get to where I need to be. And so my take
so
is
shouldn't the
that
strongest rider here then go back to that next group and help them? Wouldn't that because you're
that
now
may that I mean perhaps I mean I would go back to maybe the fourth rider. I don't know if I would go even further back. I mean if you only need
that's the
four,
fourth rider is next group there, right?
yep. Hmm. So my take
So
though would be lightest bike's best idea to go for because it's going to be the hardest part of the course where the most mayhem can be created most likely, and being able to move amongst that pack easier and just kind of be
okay,
in
so
control of your effort on the climb is maybe the way to go. I also do see if you are a rider though that struggles more on the flats and there's plenty of riders, especially in Zwift. I've heard a lot of this from much lighter riders that on the flats perhaps they might want to be on a more aerodynamic bike, and they don't really have a problem on the climb at all.
well, that's my point. Is that if you're already the fastest climber, the best climber on your team, you don't need any more advantage. Where you would want the advantage would be on the faster flats. That's my thought. I mean, you're already having the issue of gapping your teammates here. They're not getting a draft off of him again, right? He's climbing on his own out in the wind. The rest of the team is over there up against the gutter. So he doesn't need a lighter bike.
Yeah, we definitely have a few riders hanging out over in the. They're kind of doing a little. We were talking cyclocross worlds prior to the broadcast, and there was maybe getting a little Danish sneak peek here to the far left side of what worlds may be like. But now we do have
They
it.
saw
Looks
a
like
wallet. They saw some cash over on the side of the road, maybe or something. So they swooped over.
look at how close this all is, and this is really going
Well,
to
it's
give
a
us an idea of the day today, I
interesting
think, of
perspective.
climbing versus pure TT riders because
When
DBR have already closed down to their sister team, brother team here, Blue Arrows, to the Snack
when
Shake.
you
They're within 8 seconds at this point.
Yeah, so it's an interesting perspective what 8 seconds looks like when you're on a 16% grade, right? I mean, it's within shouting distance. Um, this woman is walking as fast on the sidewalk, a spectator, because it is so brutally steep. This is like Taylor or Fillmore streets in San Francisco where they have to cut steps into the sidewalk just to assist people. I mean, it is brutal. This is unlike, so this is not your garden variety team time trial, Nathan. This is a very unique, and it's something that WTRL is notorious for, is it's not just flat fast as the old school in real life team time trials where we throw some wicked courses at the riders. And this might be certainly in the top three most brutal courses that we race on in the 140 editions with all of these different time zones. This is the best of the best with our Platinum League that we've got racing right now. The top, in general, 11 teams from the 19 zones. Today, with the right before Christmas, we're at 655 total teams racing in all of those zones. And in all of our classes like latte, we use the coffee classes, mocha, espresso, frappe, and doppio. You'll end up seeing the teams qualifying. So this gap is held at 8 seconds. They didn't close down anymore, Nathan, on that last part of the climb here. They'll get one more look at this. They're out on the first of two laps. And of course, you don't see much. It's event only here in Italy. This was a part of a Giro d'Italia effort with Zwift going back a few years ago. We're in Bologna.
Dressler to the front, it looks like. Now, see, Homa, and this is a mixed category. So we will find a few women hanging out amongst the boys out here. AVC uh, pushing their way to the top here. I love how they've selected all the same kit in game. I love how WTRL definitely does a great job of getting the riders to select specific kits and get all set up for that. The Swedish rider now, though, Toma giving a little bit of a punch to the front here, 4.3 watts per kilogram, and giving a couple of boys here out of Germany a run for their money here to the top of this climb. Definitely, when you speak to this climb, Dave, have you done the Bologna climb? This is probably, when it comes to courses out on Zwift, I'm trying to think of one that I suffer more on, and I don't think that there is. For me personally, Alp de Zwift or Watopia, the only thing comparable I would say is the top of Watopia Mountain, the radio tower climb is about the same amount of suffering, maybe a little bit less than this though, in my opinion. Bologna just is that perfect, everything you got effort to the top. That's just it's this definitely with the steepness of it too, and the way that you come at it. I just this one is a serious sufferfest. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's certainly, when you look at it, 2K at 10% average is ridiculoso, as they would say in Italy, and getting a team time trial squad over that together. This is a tremendous job that we're looking at right now from the AVC team, as you're going to see some of our categories are going to be in the saddle out here racing for not only well over an hour and 10 minutes for our Mochas, for example. So 6 riders together here through at least one time through that brutal sector of that climb. It's really flat outside of the climb that you see. As it definitely then moves into aerodynamics mode and just straight up classic team time trialing. And then we'll go right back into it again, the brutally steep climb. 2 laps for 32K today.
Yeah, I believe we're in with, this is going to be Alpentrotter Latte 1. And we're going to be with Dirk Seifried, Tom Poots. Krista Toma will be the sole woman out on this team here. Michael Wilmer, as well as Yip Wolf, Lars Schrodo, and Denny Dressler. A fairly experienced team. The Denny Dressler does have a solid whoo, and that's coming down. DBR going by on the other side there, going downhill after their initial climb. As you can see, they're going to be very thankful in just a moment to see Scotty the Squirrel and the Little Z here on the left-hand side cheering them on, and they'll be making their downhill and getting to the super tuck. Something definitely about this course that you can go all in on the climb and then come downhill and get a full-on super tuck speed on the other side.
Man, can you imagine if in real life you were doing this? It's something only on Zwift you could experience, a team time trial squad going the other way on a downhill. So yeah, this a tremendous job that we're witnessing here by this German and Austrian and a Swiss rider, Krista Toma. Krista, Nathan, weighs 51 kilo and is, a climbing monster, no doubt about it. Her 20-minute power is 4 watts per kilo. The rest of the guys on the team, Denny, Dirk, Lars, Michael, Tom, and Yips, are all, Yips Wolf is at 68 kilo, but the rest of the guys are in that 80s. Lars is 88 kilo. That's a lot of variation on a team time trial squad, where traditionally you look for, back when they would do 4 riders in a standard 100K team time trial, you'd look for riders that were very, very similar in ability and size, and that was sort of a trademark to not see a lot of variation in body types amongst riders, but not the case, and it's such a unique course to be on as well. This is the Swiss rider Krista Toma that we're with on the Alpentrottler team, as she'll be looking to hang on to the locomotive right now as they make their way back down that climb and then flat for a while before you start climbing again.
And look at the speeds that these riders are flying at here. Up into 102 kilometers per hour. If you do not have the achievement, I have a feeling there's going to be plenty of riders here grabbing the over 100 kilometer per hour achievement, I would think, today, as maybe many of them not going to be having that in their... I love this team setup, too.
They are really doing great.
All of these light blue
Yeah,
bikes
they
mixed in
dialed
with the
this, huh?
soul woman here that's on the
The
pinkish purple.
Swiss.
So
Yeah,
great, so great.
so she's got the red wheels for the. You can recognize the Swiss rider. Well, they're not quite red, are they? But well, pink either way. This team has definitely got some class to it. Adds a couple kilometers per hour to the average speed. I'd say this again is Krista Toma that we're in with. But you can see the team, Nathan, they managed that really well. I mean, from your experience, you've done a lot of team time trials at this point. Doesn't get much faster or better than what you saw. The avalanching, riders coming over the top. They didn't waste anything out there. They continue to look very professional here.
Yeah, great job here by Alvin Trotter. And back in with Coalition now as they make their way down. As it's going to be Myers, Woodrow, Storm, excuse me, Goodrow, excuse me. Oh, no, there's two. There's Woodrow and Goodrow, actually. So I thought I was confused there between the two. Roth is here as well. A little bit 7.5 here, quickly coming here from Storm. Also, one of the women here mixing it up with the men in the mixed category.
Yeah, gotta love Coalition, and you can see they're hitting the flat part now after, so they're also getting deep into lap number 1. It's about 16K per lap out here in this event only course, but yeah, it sounds like a great hyphenated last name, Woodrow Goodrow. Izzy Woodrow, the United Kingdom, Kent Goodrow. You mentioned Kirsten Storm here on Coalition out of South Africa. Marco Zas is Dutch. Martin Ashton is English. We've got Remo Roth, Roger Knecht, and Thomas Myers making up this Coalition squad, representing quite well out here today. So we have raced here before.
Kirchmer, it looks like. Yeah, we've raced here 3 times.
Been a while,
like.
huh?
Yeah, I believe maybe a little bit more. I'm not positive how long. Maybe Martin can help us out on that end. How long we've been doing this right around the holiday season. Obviously, last year, since there are some course records set last year on the 24th. I'm not sure if the year before that happened, but obviously in 2019 in the summer, we did have we did Bologna TTT number 6 and last Christmas. So from what we're seeing here, so it is the 3rd time out on the course.
Stefan Kerkmeier, one of our all-time favorites, who's the namesake, has built this franchise, and there's hundreds of riders who you'll see in the familiar yellow and black. It's another German, Austrian, and Swiss. I haven't seen an American on the team yet. Maybe someone will make that breakthrough, but this is a team that takes their team time trialing seriously. They also have a lot of fun. It looks like a cool team to be a part of. And they are one of the teams you could look at as to how to manage a team time trial, the techniques that they use, the processes. It's very much like that system engineering. Is you don't want to reinvent things. And here we go. I think we're going to start getting some splits in. This is actually Vienna Frappe, the women that are starting. Well, they'll be out there on the course in just a few minutes. These are some of the men's times. Cryo RDT.
Scrolling the board for a moment here just to give us an idea. So it does look like 14:43 from Cryo RDT here in the men's Doppio so far. That's the time to beat. 8K in, Dave. Is that that's after the initial climb? So you're getting a good idea, I believe. If we
I'm going to say that 8K puts you right. Yeah, I mean, add another. You're not quite done at 8K, but you're close, Nathan. Really close, actually. So fair play to say that the first climb is included in that. Absolutely. Super quick. 14, because the next, after that point, everything that you just climbed, you go flying down, as we've seen. They'll be going over 110 kilometers per hour there for a couple minutes.
Coming through for the espresso so far. Wow, Cryo RDT's blowing, and I think this is going to be the story.
Isn't that impressive?
It really sets apart when you get into, and this goes to show why, mountaintop finishes and where cycling celebrates.
You really
the
see the difference,
climb.
don't you?
Yeah, in fitness levels, exactly.
So, and that's why to win a Grand Tour, to be Tour de France winner, Vuelta España winner, Giro, you've got to not the two tools that you have to have: the ability to climb in the front group every single day, right? So these amazing climbers, and so you got to be able to make over 6 watts per kilo for a long, long time, and be able to time trial. And those are two really different things. And you have to be in the top 5% in both of them in order to win at the super high level. Really incredible when you think about it. So that you nailed it with that 8K, just taking in the top part of the climb there as they make that turnaround. You see the speeds just start to elevate.
It looks like at the top right now, Kirchner Latte, 1901. It's going to be the Woolly Rhinos in this latte crew, only 7 seconds behind. Kirchner Latte 3, also out here. We're looking at Vikings Valhalla, though, coming on through just now, and that's exactly who we are looking at as Henriksen gets in. This is something, though, Dave, you can lose your team very quickly if you are not amongst the pack and in that draft. 88 versus 100, now 99. Look at 10 kilometers per hour. Immediately lost not being in that draft. 107 kilometers per hour. 87 kilometers, 20 kilometers per hour almost difference. At the exact same section, of course. If you want to think that in Zwift the drafting doesn't matter, that shows you right there. 20 kilometers per hour, that's a
You're out
massive
of your
amount of
mind.
time. Massive
Yeah.
amount of your time.
And it's the name of the game in what we're doing right now. Boy, it's interesting, Nathan. You can make a misstep and lose 10, 15 seconds on this descent really quickly. When you look at the delta there from waiting for a teammate to rejoin versus pressing on and avalanching your way down that descent. This is a crazy course. We're in Bologna, Italy, event-only course. This is part of a Giro d'Italia from a few years ago. But they didn't go up and down, did they? I believe this was a time trial a time trial course that they were replicating here. I haven't been out with many events that I've done in Bologna, to tell you the truth, Nathan. As you're mentioning your experience out here racing, it's fun to see some new architecture as we make our way around Italy here for the Valhalla team. This all Norwegian squad. We're in with our latte class now and getting some of these splits. 1901 for Kirkmeyer Latte. It's only 7 seconds quicker than RR Woolly Rhinos. And in the third spot here at that 8K check. But that's an important check. 19 at 12. Things are going to, okay, you're going to start seeing times updating from the second check. But right now, it's still really relevant to look at that first check here because the fastest teams will be seated last. Although, yeah, well, last week's course was also very challenging here. So take a look at Kirkmeyer Latte 3s now. They're going to be right in front of Team Type 1 Lancets, but it's only 18 seconds separating our top 5 teams. Coalition Nocturne, the nighttime coalition edition, is just another 3 seconds back. So that's a good look out there, Nathan. We'll move over and look at the Mochas as they get out on course here in a 22:30 from TFC Hurricane, the fast time in the Mocha group.
And I think this might be part of the story for a lot of the day today, Dave. The sole riders out here being dropped on the first climb, just looking to finish things up. And 2 times to the top, you're going to have these no man's land, no women's land riders here looking to get their workout in still today, but they've done their job so far. I think a lot of riders maybe up front, if they know they can't make the climb, maybe the call is to be the main workhorse all the way through the first flat until you hit the bottom of the climb. See if you can hang on and then say goodbye to the rest of the team as they finish out on the day.
Yeah, this is a tough day for someone who isn't amongst the elite climbers on your team. And you do what you can, and even for some riders, just getting them to the bottom of the climb. You could start with 8 riders maximum, but this is the kind of day where you definitely separate the wheat from the chaff. If you make it over the climb the first time, Nathan, odds are pretty good that you're going to make it over the climb the second time and be able to be there to help your team in the run in, the really fast run in to the finish line. Long day in the saddle out here. And I've seen people saying online recently in the modern era that it's not good to talk about earning your calories or earning your Christmas dinner. But boy, this is a lot of work that you're going to do in this hour of racing. Because even on the descent, you can feel the pressure to keep the speed going, right? So I don't think
Talk to
too
me
many
about
teams.
that. It's not good to talk about earning. I want to know about that a little bit more. What's happening there?
Okay, well, this is what I read on the internet yesterday.
Yesterday. So this is latest.
Yeah,
the
this
latest
is new information to me.
information from Dave Towle from the internet yesterday. Let's go, Dave. Here we go.
Calorie shaming. So
I earned it. I earned those calories. That's like a shaming thing.
The thought of mind. So again, I don't want this to come back on me as this is not my train of thought, but the thought of mind is you deserve calories anyways. You don't need to justify it or earn them. Don't let people make you feel like you have to exercise to eat as much as you want. And I think that's not the case. I know for me it isn't. But the only good side of what they were saying that I do agree with is exercise should be about mental health and physical health, not about how much you eat. Let the eating follow the exercise.
I think there's a big conversation about what your relationship with food is as well, coming from households and knowing many people who have not had a good relationship with food. And then other people who have had a pretty good relationship with food. We all have our different vices, and and there is that reality and struggles. So, sure, if you have a not so good relationship with food, don't think about it as you have to earn it. Now, on the other side of it, my relationship with food is one where, like, I better think about earning it. Like, there's a whole nother thing. So, for each individual and how they feel about food, probably changes things up. But in my mind and heart, I definitely like to think about earning what I'm going to go eat. More.
And also, I mean, the name of the game is eating healthy too. That's
we 100% support though mental and emotional health here at ZCL in relationship 100%. To food, especially
we're for that
within the Zwift community and world, as it has been something that's come up in the past, and we fully recognize that. But coalition here now.
Did you hear our joke with Anna Russell, a colleague, about
all I know is that all of the classes are now named after vegetables, and somehow an eggplant is called some weird name. I don't even know what it is anymore. You said it different even than I heard her say it. What? I don't even know what this is.
I'm not from New Zealand. Yeah.
Go ahead, though, Dave. Did I hear what?
So on that train of thought, there was a team that was called F Cancer, and actually that might have been even with you, where I didn't want us to get confused that people were thinking we were for cancer. Right?
We had to explain that we're swearing at cancer.
Yeah. No, but we're definitely against cancer.
How did you end up explaining what that word was exactly? Is what I want to know on the ZCL broadcast. I didn't actually catch that one.
Four-letter word. It's a four-letter word.
It's a four-letter word.
Enough. Right.
Feet cancer. Wait, no.
But four-letter word has its own category.
It definitely does.
I would say, yeah. So, well, back to the race.
Let us know what F Cancer means, please. We'd appreciate all of your feedback as to what it could be. What
alternate meanings.
Alternate meanings.
Yep. Right. Denmark very well represented here, but coalition, yeah, they do. Oh no, they don't. I thought they had a Dane. They've got a couple Swiss riders, Remo and Roger, as we're in with the coalition team here. So, all right, here's a question for you. I'm sure Mark could come up with an answer. I don't want him to even waste his calories on this, but the average race time. So by racer, right? So including all of the different classes, all the way from latte, mocha, espresso, frappe, etc., and all of the 140 or 139 editions of WTRL Time Trial Thursdays. What is the average duration of time in saddle? And I would say, Nathan, it's probably somewhere around 47, 48 minutes.
I want to say 43 minutes.
Okay, a little
No,
less,
wait.
huh?
Well,
I'm kind of thinking the mochas, a lot of hour tens, and like what category has tons of riders? Mochas, which one has almost very few? Well, Dopios.
Hmm.
That's my logic.
Yeah.
Either way, this is a long day in the saddle, isn't it? I mean, they still have 10K to go, including they're on the climb now here with the Vipers. But it doesn't really get much tougher than today in Bologna. Wattage
So quick.
Bolognese.
Okay, so Henry Hardy's got a question here, Dave, and
Oh
he's
boy.
wondering he's very curious. Exactly what?
Not just curious. He's extremely curious.
What out of exactly what does "unlike Donkey Kong" mean? Like what does that exactly mean? He needs a definition from you.
I mean, I think that's like asking Bob Dylan, what does blowing in the wind mean? Like it's up to your interpretation, however you want to apply it to your life to add more
Unlike Donkey
happiness.
Kong just got compared to a Bob Dylan lyric. I like it. I like it. I like it. Here. Keep
But you
the
know what I'm
chat
saying?
coming. We're absolutely loving it here.
Well, Henry, no, and I appreciate. So what it means is like, so obviously it's a point of emphasis, right? I started saying that back. So here's my contention.
I did an internet search on it because other people were saying
song,
it,
right?
and I was like, okay, who owns like this proprietary? Like, who did this first? And I had one from a cyclocross race all the way back to 2006, I think it was. You said
that
it
was
in?
me.
Yeah, it was you. Oh yeah, it was 100% you.
Oh yeah, and so here's the thing. I've always said that. So there's a country song that came out like 2008 or 9 where that guy who wrote the song, I think he went to a Tour of California stage, heard me say it, and then wrote the song. That's my belief. I feel like I want more details from him on how that came out, but I'm just kind of kidding. But yeah, it's been a trademark thing for a long time. I didn't realize it was '06, but yeah, that was. I used to have a lot of more catchphrases. I use some of them with us. Game is on. You're right, Mark. That's exactly it.
I just thought it meant you're supposed to start throwing barrels at people.
So you look at it
or
from
get
the
a jackhammer and like jump
You
over.
are so funny, Nathan. I swear. Like sometimes, like you learn a lot about a person during this long broadcast, right?
I just pictured Donkey Kong like throwing barrels down that, like going
most people
nutso.
see themselves as the plumber with the guy
Mario with a little hammer. I guess I could get a hammer and start hammering the barrels, but like, yeah, I mean, it's hammer time. It's hammer time. I'm down with that.
Perspective, yeah. Funny.
Well, of course, I got to get the girl on top of the building. Like, let's go. Anyways, all right, here we go.
Anyways, that's funny, and I always appreciate.
People are like, "What are you talking about?" People are like, "What?"
Is this two teams together right behind the Vipers here, or is it Vipers being joined by another team? So that must be it. Some of the Vipers got split off of.
Some of the Vipers did, and the Zetas are chasing them. It's the down and dirty Vipers, the diapers here. For those that don't know,
best of 2021.
Would people even know? We're all over the place right now. This is the perfect end of the year broadcast with what happened with the Vipers and the diapers. Because people might not know who are first tuning in. They actually renamed themselves the Down and Dirty Diapers
temporarily,
and made a poster for it in the history of WTRL TTTs.
They embraced it. They did not shy away from it like I did. So what was that? I'm going to say it was middle of the summer. It feels like it was about 6 months ago where I called them the Down and Dirty Diapers. And seeing as how they're all dads,
it wasn't on purpose.
Actually
just
really
so you guys know, this was an accident.
It
was a word slip. It was not.
It was a word
and then
slip.
From there, it just continued on, and it was fully embraced, it seems.
Yeah. Although after a couple of weeks, they changed back to the Vipers. So, but definitely they had a great attitude and super cool guys. And I mean, as one yourself, a dirt Nathan Dad's Indoors Riding Trainers, it's a huge group of high quality folks. That's for sure. So, Vipers have made this year that much more fun. as we take a look at them here. So this is going to be, I want to give all the guys a shout out, actually, Nathan. I think they really deserve it. There's two dirt teams out here, and it's a little hard to tell which one are, because dirt has, again, so many incarnations out here. I'll just shout out all the dirt riders. As we got Edward Pugh, he's with Down in Dirty Black. Eric, so a couple Canadians, the GOAT, that's Rob. Eric Barnhorst, racing out of England, is Goose. Harry Corker is from United Kingdom. John Poole, also from United Kingdom, along with Justin Webb. We've got the Belgian rider Chris van der Put. Marshall Witkowski is an American on the dirt team. Pim de Verromen is Dutch. Shane Birch. Tiago Pereira is a couple Americans, Shane and Tiago. Tom Stagg and Tyler O'Callaghan racing out of the United Kingdom. Job out of Holland. That is all of the dirt riders. And thanks for a great year, guys. Nathan, you did mention we're getting to that point where, man, this community has been stronger than ever this year. And dirt is a big part of that. So thanks, guys.
And they're having a solid ride today. We're taking a look at the current situation. The Down and Dirty Vipers here with a 26-29, currently in 8th place. They've got 4 riders left, as you can see. They started with 8, so big splits here. I have a feeling that the name of the game today is just trying to get to the line with 4 intact. A lot of times, maybe what's happening. The Zetas on the chase here as well. As we go back just a little ways here and see if we can find them. And I believe this is also going to be a dirt team, if I'm not incorrect. Let's see if I got a little bit more information on the Zetas. As this is going to be, I do see the dirt kit.
I think you're right. That's Eric Barnhorst, isn't it? So,
coming out of Canada.
Yeah, correct. You're correct. Marshall Witkowski's the American here. They're using this number system, which makes sense. We've talked about teams who use different sock colors, but to help identify and just make it for the director possibly easier.
Hanging out with Jet. I'm liking their new in-game kit. Look at this thing.
I love this team.
This is a sweet kit. Japanese team hammering away, coming over the top here. We got an American hanging out with them though. Leading the front here.
Rob.
Yeah, Rob Beatty.
So Kat Yaguchi. They also have a Dutch rider, Seb Kramer. So they're branching out. Jet, we love you guys, man. Shigeru Kojiyama, Tiyashu Iwai, Takashi Inamini, Tsutu. Boy, these are challenging. Sutomu Iwabuchi and Sutomu Ono on the Jet team out here.
And the Jet team here, their name here that they put in the WTRL, that their full name is Jet Racing Team Toothless Country Boys, is what they've named themselves out here. So,
is that a Japanese thing too? I guess so.
I don't know. I'm not sure. Yep. I'm not sure. But 16 races for Ono, Tsutomu Ono. That's gonna be the lowest amongst them, actually. Reb Betty has the most that we're looking at here. Giving us a thanks, no problem. Reb, as it's we're seeing 43 rides coming in from him. So that is
from
going
who?
to be
Sorry?
From Beatty here, from the rider we're looking at here.
Oh, right on. Reb. That's what you said.
Reb.
Yep, yeah. You nailed it. Is Reb still up? That's Reb right here. I wonder how he got connected with the team. I'd love to hear that story. Because
he's currently 116th place right now. 116th place in racing rankings with 98.26 points. The lower the points, the better.
That's impressive.
Me and him are neck and neck right now. I think I'm like 124th or so, right around there. So he is really doing an amazing job in his overall for his rankings. Killing it.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah, good
pickup by
work.
Jet. Great pickup by Jet.
They're looking about 7.5K, but the good news is the climbing is
Oh,
going
for
to
some reason
be,
I thought they finished at the top today. So no, it's back
yeah, you
down the hill again.
turn around, and
He's gonna get caught by
hightail
this
it
crew
back down.
so quickly, actually.
Yeah, you're right around 25K when you come over the top of the climb and start your way back down to the finish line, which is at, let's call it 32 even out here. 32K doesn't sound like a long day. It's not a short day either, but when you add in 2 trips up the Bologna climb here, 2.1K at 10% average, as we're really right in the thick of it here for the Friday Criterium Storm team. So we're still, actually, we're going to move over. I apologize and jump in with our lattes now. And Storm is another one of the teams that, when you talk about TFC, that have been a cornerstone of WTRL.
TFC Storm here are part of the ZRL. I believe they've got a mixture of ladies out here today as we do jump across over to the ladies latte, Vienna latte, as they get out on course. These were the second to go, I believe. Our 3R Spice Girls, I think, were supposed to start before them. I'm not sure
They,
that they did. Rave Against
I
the
think they,
Machine, though, are chasing them at this point, as you do see Rave here out on course as well.
Storm might have started with 4 riders today as well. I'm looking. So Lloyd, Dean Hardy,
Three,
Karen
three
Taplin.
riders.
Did they start with 3?
I think the TFC Blackbirds started with
Karen and
three.
Rosie. So Karen Taplin and Rosie Phillips. I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
there we
definitely a
go.
3 in the green there. So they only have 3 riders. Big day for them.
So they will get a time, and this would be the kind of, well, boy, you really are coming back down on the descent at a. We've talked about how much there is to gain still. It's not just going up the climb. You really break this down into those 3 different sectors. There's a lot of flat. There's a really steep climb, and then you got to keep it together and hightail your way down the descent. So this is our friends Rave, another one of the monster teams out here. We love what Rave is all about. And this is going to be, I'm going to have to check a flag alert, Nathan. Take a look at Alex Hasselkus's flag there. If you know that just off of the top of your head, I'll be super impressed. Claire Sherrington, racing out of New Zealand. We've got Eddie Oji from United Kingdom, along with Joanne Foote, American, on the team. Carrie Jacoby, Luis is from the United Kingdom. Sally and Tiffany Colby, along with Tiuku Lorio, making
We've
up
seen it once
the
before.
Rave team.
I think we have seen this one
Let me
once before,
see.
but
I'm clicking
I'm
on it
not
now.
not off the top of my head though, honestly.
Okay, yeah,
So
I was talking about how red is such a common flag. Bermuda. That's it.
there it is. I knew it was going to be one of those Pacific Islands too, and or not. Yeah, right. Yeah, one of the islands
Caribbean.
down here, Caribbean.
Yeah.
It was. I'm gonna say.
Oh, there you go.
Well,
Flag of the day. So far, you never know.
looking through then with Rave. Good to jump in with them. See Lorio out of Finland hammering away.
Now, I wonder if there's a relation to Teppo,
There's got to be
Lorio.
because
Uh-huh.
Teppo's hanging out in the broadcast and cheering on Rave.
Oh, well,
at
there
this
you go.
point. He'll let us know in any moment, I believe, as we jump in with them. The first splits will be coming in at 8K, so we're going to jump around back to the men for a moment and get their finish for the espressos and jump around a little bit through a few of the other categories, the mochas as well, as the men's teams finish up. We'll get their splits out on course. It does look like in this C category currently, Horatar here at the 39.14. That's going to be the fast time. I wonder how Toyota Priority T is up against these.
I don't even want to know.
37.34. 2 minutes faster almost.
What is
what
the
we're looking at.
all-time? Was it about 47:30 for the fastest record on the course here? 46:30 for Volendam. That was the heyday for Volendam there. So
They were
forty-six
in
thirty-seven.
domination mode at that time,
Yeah,
completely dominating.
it seems like it was an era to remember. That's for sure. Well, can Cryo RDT beat that? Yes. Where was that split taken? The second split there that we were just looking at, because it's going to be close.
24K.
Yeah, so 24K. Let me just double check something here. Yeah, you still have a kilometer of climbing. You're only halfway up the Bologna climb when that check is taken. So that Volendam time is going to be tough to beat.
What I want to know is this Lunachic's time though at 58:11. That's been standing for over 2 years.
It's such a
WTRL TTT number six that was set at 58:11 in the Vienna Frappes.
number 6. So that's 2.5 years ago that we're talking about. Really, the early days of WTRL.
These are the
Um,
teams that are going to be going to try and break the record that was set
it's good
two and
squads
a
here.
half
That
years ago.
record, I would bet dollars to donuts that record falls. Um,
Odd socks, perhaps.
yeah, we'll see.
Hypernova are out here. Crush Pod have been doing, and Crush Pod can climb. That's the other thing is I think watch out for Crush Pod today. We'll see though. Raver, I have a feeling they've been maybe doing a few Alp de Zwifts with Debbie Rodriguez. They might have some climbing legs out there today. We'll see how that ends up playing
That
out.
actually would help a lot. Just riding with others in that format and trying to stay together and understanding when you can push and when you need to back off a little bit. This is going to be some of our splits coming in from 24K and 39.14 for the Orwich RMI. Wonder if that's Horwich or Orwich. I have to find out in our espresso category. 39.14. I'll go with Orwich to make things easy. 39.32, second quickest time for Jet, the racing team Toothless Country Boys. The Schmears Frey Espresso team third. 39.45, 40.30 is the fourth fastest time at that third and final check before the finish for Trot ART. Nice to see the mighty Photons out here. 40.35, they're 5 seconds quicker than Virtue Slow Hazard. That's the sixth quickest time. Evo Espresso, seventh quickest, down in Dirty Vipers, eighth. And then it looks like BL13 was a scratch today. So those are your top 8 times coming in our Espresso. That's the mixed category. And they're at 3K to go as we look at Evo on screen right now. Evo Espresso here.
Nice job to Evo Espresso, giving them a shout out here as they make their way around course. Always loving the Evo team. They're always a good looking team when it comes to their kits. Now, a little bit off here, but I give a little bit of wiggle room today on the fashion because of the nature of the course out here today. The selection of bike is going to differ so much because of the intensity of the uphills of the climbs. I wonder if Anna will give the nod to that. I do know she was watching broadcast. She did send me over a little. You've been pronouncing Adidas wrong all this time. No, it's not Adidas. I'm not sure. I'm not even sure what they're trying to say here on this little.
I saw the whole Adi Dossler thing, and uh, that there's a
So
lot.
what do
It's
you think?
interesting.
What do you think, Dave? How do you say
Well, I know that
Adidas?
in America it's pronounced Adidas. I
Oh,
mean,
I wasn't crazy. I thought I was crazy for a
well, I mean
moment.
that's how you say it in the U.S. I realize Adidas is how you'd say it if you were in other parts of the world. Is that how Anna says it?
I don't even know what she was saying anymore. It's like if I'm totally honest with you, Dave, I don't even know the
Well, I
way that
think
it was
that's
being
it.
said.
Adidas is what you would hear. I think just about anywhere else in the world, but Adidas is what you hear in America for sure. I
Yeah.
think that you have to
Yeah.
recognize the differences globally in some pronunciations. That's a really interesting story, though. The two brothers, Puma and Adidas, were owned by two brothers from the same family that had a falling out that was serious. So Puma and Adidas were basically in the same town in Germany where they were developed. Adi Dassler, who's Adidas is taking parts of his first and last name and making Adidas, was the national team shoemaker for the German, the the West German national football team, which is that's one of the top nations in the world in World Cup, highest level of soccer in the world. And he would sit on the bench and make the players cleats for them. Just sort of a weird tradition, right? But very throwbacky. Something that would be like having someone from Nike making shoes on the bench for the players during an NBA game. It would never happen now, but obviously it was a different time. He'd sit there with his cobbler's tools and work on Franz Beckenbauer's shoes or whatever. It's a crazy story. And then the fact that his brother owns Puma. I mean, and those were the two most iconic shoe brands for a couple of decades and are still iconic brands.
Love the history lessons we get out of mispronunciations. It's absolutely great.
You
This
could
is
not ask for more
you could
information on
not
Adidas
than what you're getting here.
I
Welcome to
think that was the full
CCL
story, right?
Broadcasts.
Yeah.
In with our frappes. This is going to be the ones out on course with the
It's a
rhinos right
long
now.
race.
Backpedal. It is a long day out here today with the frappes. We'll go ahead and see what the time splits are with them as we do jump in with backpedal. Good to see backpedal. This
Hey,
has
shout
been a
out
team that's
Backpedal.
really, I mean, they have been showing up week in and week out. This sudden burst onto the scene with backpedal. The rhinos
And I
here
don't-
just about to come across the line here as well, but Art is here in between. Actually, Art is completely.
I wanted to say,
annihilated.
I'm not sure.
Actually, they're not liking each other. This is like
Uh-oh.
I don't even know what happened with Art. Perhaps this is like the three stragglers that got dropped off, and the rest of the team is already up the road. That's what I'm hoping to see here. Otherwise, this Discord's not having a good time out here today.
So Backpedal was our top team. I didn't check the results up to the last second, but last I saw Backpedal in our WTRL World Bicycle Relief fundraiser, which was, thanks to everybody out there, such a huge success. I don't know if these are the guys, but Backpedal was the team that raised the most. It just did an incredible job. Let's give a shout out to Backpedal's Ben Kirby, James Kulzuk, Lee Baxter, Stefan Prichard, Troy DeJunker on the Backpedal team that we've got right in front of us here.
I think Katie
Along
Loker is
with
also out there.
Ben Kirby.
I believe, yeah,
Who
and
am I
Ben
missing
Kirby,
there?
and and Katie Loker was a starter. She's got 15 rides underneath her belt here. Ben Kirby, only two WTRL TTT. So a big welcome to Ben as he smashes the pedals in the frappe out here today. They currently are sitting at the last splits in 8th place with the 42-44 Dirt Time Chasers. Just smashing it out there today. The Zetas at a 40-53. I think they may be getting an upgrade over to that espresso category, perhaps, out of this data pull here. So Backpedal them out to make their way to the line, though. Shout out to them and the Frappes as they finish up. A few more teams still out on course. This is going to be the DBR team that are in the Frappes.
We'll see.
too.
See if any records are broken out here for our mixed categories. Women getting into the middle part of their race, the Vienna categories. We have all of the Vienna lattes, the straight up Viennas, the Vienna espressos, and Vienna frappes to enjoy. They've got plenty of racing ahead of them. We'll bring some teams home now. This is going to be DBR. Is not bad at all. They're going to be well under 1 hour today. That's a benchmark hour, to tell you the truth. And they've only got a couple K of racing remaining. It's completely flat from here. Well, not quite completely flat, very close to flat from here on in.
Garage
They're
Pain
gonna
Chaser.
crush
This is a
it
great
today.
name. This is a great name. coming from this DBR team. I
Garage
like it.
Pain Chasers. That's
Yeah,
an exceptional name. Yeah.
Robert Visgard won WTRL TTT
Visco, huh?
in the past. So new to this. Did he make the group or is he off the back is going to be my question. Perhaps off the back.
But if you had to go back and look at the nations that have really so obviously we have lots of different teams that are mixed, but Denmark, South Africa, and New Zealand have really Portugal also really come on strong over 2021 in esports racing.
So
Denmark was always strong though, weren't they? I mean, it's not like that was anything new from the Danes.
I'm going to put this little bit. Oh, yeah. Always been.
Since the get-go.
This is some great information. So as we had Rave on earlier, Tepe is actually in the broadcast chat right now. And he did something insane. He climbed. What did he do?
Lorio
did. Yeah, Lorio did an Everstein on a trial Zwift account. I think it was. Like in the first 7 days of his Zwift account, he Eversted, which means he climbed every single day.
You got the most out of that trial, huh? No one will ever.
He got the Tron bike. That's what he did. He got the Tron bike. So he Eversted every day for 7 days or something like that? It was insane.
That sounds like Teppo. He looks like an absolute.
So this is actually
maniac.
His little sister. T. Lorio is number 2. He says number 2.
Oh, nice.
His little sister. So we were asking.
I'm going to say one of the most popular riders in the ZRL by a long shot.
Yeah, watch out for him come January.
Yeah, he's
too.
a super fun person.
You know, the whole community is doing all of this really interesting final preparations. We see a lot of base work and then going into high intensity. And that's why I think one of the reasons that he's up to what he's up to. But great to see him hanging out. He's
going to win. He's going to win a day. I have a feeling people will be stoked. That's for sure. Some riders just have that personality, right? Building a cult of personality is how you really move and transcend just being an athlete into being a star athlete. As we're on this descent now, what goes up must come down.
We're going to be jumping on a little bit. We're looking to see if we can find some of our finishers here in the Mochas. Mocha's not loading the best for us today, so apologies to the Mocha riders that are out.
This looks awful. Look at how steep this is. That's 13%. If you don't turn your wheels into the curb, your car is just going to start sliding down the road when you park. It always reminds me of Ojai, California, the sidewalk under these arches as riders coming down on their way to the finish line. We still got a ways to go here on the climb for these guys.
Got plenty left out on course for our Mocha category. As it's going to be the Watt Bros really separated. I wonder if they'll get
love Watt Bros.
No, I got Tron bike in 7 days. Yeah, he got the Tron bike in 7 days. But how? Don't you have to Everest like every day for or something like that? Or I don't know what it was. Somehow I'm not sure how much you have to climb, but you have to do.
How many meters is a
50,000? So 50,000 meters. So 2 Eversteins. He has to do 2 Eversteins then, right?
No, more than that.
That's about 2.
More than that. Everest is like it's like 8,500 meters. Right, so you'd have to do like 4 or 5 Everests.
4 or 5 Everests. Okay, got it.
Yeah,
I wasn't doing my math. Right.
Yeah, and it's a lot of Everests, baby. To do that At any rate, leave that to Teppo. That's not for everybody.
Are you saying that
the Watt Bros? This is the Quebec-based.
Don't try.
Don't try that at home. I think everyone at Zwift is like, that's not a recommended usage of the trial period. You're overdoing it. So the Quebec, right? Watt Bros. I believe the Watt Bros and Watt Sisters are all part of that Quebec Hydro, the monster power coming from up there. maple syrup power. This team has really
They
grown as well. You can see fastest times at 24K. So they would have just gone by the team that the Watt Bros that we're looking at. TFC Hurricane was 54:33 at that check. The team Type 1 gluconauts at 58:22. So TFC Hurricane on another level today because it's really close between second and third with Giant Camden, the Holy Rollers with the 58:33 and 58:40. It's really close. Second, third, and fourth with WCC Dragons, TTT 58:41.
Going to move across to our Vienna Espressos quickly here, as they will be the fastest out on course, and we don't want to miss their efforts over the top here. And always a great rider to jump in with is going to be none other than Catherine Curie. See if we can find her out on course, as it will be Sisu Racing Girl versus Soxwax Air Unicorn, TFC Vixen. Wahoo Lacole has two teams. It's going to be Wahoo Lacole and Wahoo Lacole Etoiles in the Vienna Espresso today.
Catherine Curie was just featured on Kevin Bouchard Hall's podcast, which was a great interview and really good perspective on her racing in CRL, both in Premier and Community. Highly recommend. Nowhere Fast, it's called. And Kevin did a really great job of just really helping bring the most out in that interview. So, couple of Catherine, yeah, she's going to both of those riders will be at the World Championships, KBH and Catherine Curie. This is Team Type 1 in the 100th year since the discovery of insulin. This team has had quite a ride, and they continue on here. 5 riders with 2.3K to go, so they're in good shape here to put a fast time up on the board. Our friends, Nathan, from the Alzheimer's Association just got their kit in game recently, which was a big deal for them. I don't know if you had a chance to see that, but it's always cool. We're in now. This is a familiar kit. Kind of a funny meme yesterday. So many teams introducing their jerseys, and a lot of them sure look alike, don't they? When you see what 2022's got in store for us. But Wahoo Lacole, this distinct jersey, is actually very much a trendsetter for WLC. Quickest time there. And they're having a great ride in Vienna Espresso with a 25:51, 27:02 for Sox for Watts Aero Unicorns. Sisu I Race Like a Girl at 27:22. So really speaks to a tremendous performance when you look at the quality of the competition out here for Wahoo Lacole, Nathan. Oh, well, it's Zoe Langham. This young woman from England is a huge success in the making. One of the breakthrough stars of ZRL. And she's going to be a monster talent in years to come. She and Maud LaRue, I tell you what, we really identified two just massive wattage monsters.
Yeah, great to see Zoe out here with Wahoo Lacole right now. I'll be on the watch out for all of these riders when we do get into the ZRL season full on. We do see Illy Gardner's out here as well.
Lizzie Brooke. This is Lizzie got married. This was Lizzie Duncombe. And has changed her name.
Yeah, and
right.
The pickup with WLC is a good one.
Good for them. Yeah, she's a world-class triathlete that's really doing her work. And
saw her out doing the photo shoot with Wahoo Lacole, actually, in this specific kit over on her socials. So be on the watch out for some of that in the marketing, obviously.
Yeah, it's really nice to see her finding her stride back here again in WTRL. And, yeah, an impact rider, no doubt about it. So, yeah, if you're familiar with Lizzie Duncombe, now Lizzie Brooke, and certainly back to her best, it looks like.
Look at these times. Wahoo Lacole comes through with the 16:12.
This is a crush. I mean, this is going to, they're absolutely going to destroy the previous record here.
You think so?
Well, when you look at Sisu, I Race Like a Girl with Catherine Curie is sitting 2 minutes back almost, or a minute and a half back. This tells me Wahoo Lacole's on
so this is a good story ride here, Dave. Like, I love it that you brought that up because this is old school versus new school. is what we're
100%.
talking about here, right? Because WRT is who set this. We're talking Hino. Okay, this is Hino. This is old school Kiss Racing.
Vicky Nealon,
Vickle Nealon.
right?
This is also
Yep.
has in here, some of Cassie Baldy who is racing today. We're talking, some of the fastest women of all time ever in Zwift racing were on that Sox for Watts WRT team, and so now we have Wahoo Lacole, all new names, right? All new names to this. Mostly. Duncombe's been around for a little while. Gardner's been around, but this Langham being
Eiley
in here,
Gardner.
mixing in.
Yeah.
Gardner being mixing in here.
Established superstar Eiley Gardner. I didn't even realize she was. I mean, you're looking at one of the best in the ZRL right now. This team's going to be a force. I would have to think that if Hino, Nathan, has anyone to worry about, Wahoo Lacole, Canyon, and Wahoo Lacole are going to be the teams that are the biggest threat. No question in my mind. Game changer. And you're right. The average age and just sort of, it's a fresh team, I think is a good way to put it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of enthusiasm,
and
young,
we'll
motivated riders.
If they take down this time, I'm going to be blown away.
I'll bet on it. I'll say they do. I'm bullish on that market. Not a bear. Well, they've got a ways to go. About 10K left. These are our fastest women out on course right now as we're looking at Wahoo Lacole. We've been talking about them racing against ghosts, racing against history.
Rachel Elliott on that Sox Watts WRT team. We actually have some of the. So this
Alice
is
Lethbridge.
the team. This is the team that we're talking about essentially. Little bit different name.
The one name that
uniforms.
probably, I'm going to guess that Alice Lethbridge was on that original team too, right?
I think you're right.
She might be the only one though. Jane Despus has been with the squad for a while.
Got WRT in the name there as well. I wonder.
Yeah.
I don't think so though.
She might be.
She actually
Australian.
Now, when was that set? That was set last year.
It was a year ago, I believe.
1 year ago. 1 year ago on the 24th.
Interesting.
Now, in this race out here today, Lindsay Cassie only has one other WTRL. So this is what I'm talking about here. That Wahoo Lacole team
that name's new to me.
Just talking about. I'm seeing the highest is Lizzie Brooke. With 25 total WTRL TTTs. The rest of them are 12, 11. Zoe's got 11. Corley Arthur has 12. Looking through here.
And
Illy Gardner's got 2. Joe Blackburn's got 3. I mean, it's a very
these riders,
new team. Very fresh, as you were saying, Dave.
Back in the early days of WTRL, there was a ZRL, excuse me. There was a lot more team time trialing. So if you only got into ZRL for the 2021-22 season, you haven't done nearly as many team time trials. And looks like, are we losing? What is going on here?
She had a dropout.
Lizzie, unfortunately,
Lizzie had a dropout. They all went to 0 just a moment ago. They were having an amazing ride. They had actually caught, I believe, the Sox Watts team and passed them. I'm not positive.
Now, it looks like she's back on. So that dropout, a huge bummer. That's Lizzie in the pink concept bike here. A teammate went back to help, right? Cassie
did. Yeah, Cassie did. Yeah.
They're going to get it back so it looks like that's a tough one. So Leah Thorvaldsen here, one of the most experienced, classy riders we've got in WTRL. It's a weird situation now because you can't ask them to slow down, can you? I mean, it is what it is.
I'm not that worried about it on the climb.
No,
honestly.
I agree. No, this is not something to freak out about. It looks a little weird, but don't. This is natural. And absolutely normal.
The only problem that you could come with is if they really, really start matching watts per kilogram, and one rider wants to get by, and another rider blocks the avatar, that would be the only situation where it's like, look, I'm trying to draft my teammate, but if you're getting a draft at the same watts per kilogram, you're really, as long as they don't disrupt each other on the downhill. The other thing, though, is on the downhill, if they all end up together, the speeds are going to get that much higher because it will be double
Now
the riders
that's a
that could have
bit
been
of an issue,
available. That would be an
right?
issue.
Yeah. So, and yeah, I completely agree. Well, we'll see if they can get things together because right there, even though it looks like it's only a couple, 30 meters separating these two groups, that's a couple seconds, more than that even, as we take a look at this amazing ride, but going through a little bit of a rough patch right now is Wahoo Lacole. Uh, Got to give Cassie credit showing a tremendous amount of poise there. Nathan, the Wahoo Lacole rider, going back and helping Lizzie Brooke as that's a high level maneuver that we're looking at.
I some interesting comments coming through here on Facebook. We'll just deal with here real quickly. But the Vienna Espresso here is who we're sitting in with as we move our way backwards here. WLC does have two teams out here, not to confuse anybody, as we do have two Wahoo Lacole teams hammering away. It's going to be Carrot, Johnson, Laura, and Roberts. Now, still all together, trying to chase down that WRT team. Where is Seesaw Race Like a Girl up the road? Perhaps? Yes, they are. As we do have Kiri Kaplan, Teresa Kessler, all trying to hold off the hard charging WLC. At the front, it is going to be Armstrong, Seal, Sprinty McGinty, and Bullock hammering away for the TFC team, trying to hold off Sisu I Race Like a Girl.
Well, you can see, look what the damage the climb is doing here. Every rider just holding on. 16% grade right here. We're with the yellow, familiar yellow of the Friday Criterium Vixen team. As they're trying to track down Sisu, a race like a girl. But Wahoo Lacole, it's going to be interesting to see. So, well, I guess the one thing that you do know is that when you can see the team that's, that nearly integrating together out there with Socks for Watts, Aero Unicorns, Wahoo Lacole knows they're in great shape to win the day. The real question becomes, can they take the fastest time ever out on this Bologna course? 2 laps for 32K. And all the men, or our mixed teams, I should say, have finished at this point, and we're down to the business end here. About 8K remaining for the Vixen that we have on our screen.
Look to jump around to a few of the other classes now within the Viennas. Always amazing job to the Viennas here in the Espressos. This is our top category. Does look like we did lose a couple from the front end of the cruise. Eustace here just finishing up her ride as she chases down Roberts there from WLC. Fair weather out here as well for WLC. Nussbaumer here for the Seesaw Race Like a Girl. So good on them for finishing up their races. As we jump across, though, we'll jump in with the Owls. One of the most awesome crews that there are in the world of Zwift racing. As you do see there, next to their names, you'll see the age, actually, for each of the riders. As Maria's here, 69 years old, hammering away at 192 watts, 2.7 watts per kilogram. We'll get an idea of where the Owls are at today on course. And
Let me
one of my favorite teams.
So OWLS is an acronym, right, for Older Women in Lycra, if I remember correctly?
You got me there, Dave. Nice job.
And Arlene Salcedo, Becky Padilla, Catherine Van Rie, Canadian, Cindy Schnee, Elaine Montoya, who's we really appreciate her contributions to ZRL, or to Zwift Community Live, Christiana Miller, Maria Shannon and Pam Morris all on this Owl team that we love so much. They look great out here today as they're coming up on 20K into 30 kilometers of racing. And as
They're having a
Nathan said, you can
great
see they're,
ride too.
yeah, this is outstanding
33:44.
Owls.
I mean, they came in
They're
as
flying. This is a command performance from the Owls.
loving their kit too. It looks like they've decided to use the new Nyokyo kit.
They look sharp.
Very sharp with the Tron bike. So
I want to hear the Nyokyo song when I see that jersey.
super gamified feeling here from them. Big thank you to them for
Yeah, they
putting
are
that into
dialed,
game
all
here
of them
for
on
us.
Tron bikes. So they've been doing their work. And look at this
100%.
ride today.
I mean,
Their second quickest time.
well, if you ask Dave, we'll do it. Just for you, Dave. There you go.
That's
and this
perfect.
is
Thank
the
you.
Owls are making it happen with the Nyokyo. As
Now
the
they're just like
Rockies here
Rave.
being
Now the
chased
Owls
down.
have their own
Now
theme
they
song.
have their own as well. We can make that their theme song. Love it. Absolutely.
The Gentoos that we're in with here.
Well, this is a herd team, I believe, because they've mixed it up a little bit. One of the riders with the Gentoos has a ZRL helmet, I'm just noticing.
Ina Ketzer, right? Yeah. Oh, so she was a ZRL champion. That helmet there was the coveted crown given to our different divisions and teams that won their season.
So perhaps a guest rider out here with the Gentoos in there. The Rockies, I think, picking her up.
Yeah, because a lot of these are the Rockhopper Penguin edition of Herd, like Katie Ryder, Kim Burton, Noel Blair, Rebecca Bonsall, Debbie Thomas on this team, Donna also here, Karen Brennan. We mentioned Ina earlier, but this is the Herd team. They look good
and,
too.
the most experienced rider here would be Kim Burton and Blair Noel. I think maybe have done all 46 that they've done together, perhaps, because they both have 46 WTRL TTTs underneath their belt. So solid from them. All very experienced. The lowest would be Karen Brennan, who's at 13. So plenty of team time trialing from these ladies as they make
It
their way around
shows.
course.
And when you see them with 6 riders together, although what have we got here?
The Owls.
Looks like a bit of a catch being made.
The Owls are chasing them down, coming right on
Owls
by.
have caught their prey.
Yeah, Owls versus the Penguins. Who's gonna win? I think,
Yikes.
the Penguins
That
need
is
to
a
learn to
fight you
fly.
don't want to see.
Well,
I guess,
mean,
you know, would be if it happened at
that's not
night.
even fair. I don't even know if that would be fair. Owls versus Penguins. I mean, the Owls can fly.
Well, seeing as that penguins can't fly, unless it was underwater, I think the owls have it. If it was nighttime
Okay, it's
on
like
land,
a water
the owls,
Arctic arena. Then maybe it's a little bit more fair because then you got
is it
these,
day or night?
you know, daytime.
You know, owls. Okay, because owls have a huge nighttime advantage.
Yeah, daytime bout because they can't even fly. Like if you can't fly,
But they can swim
they
like
can
rocket
swim
ships.
and they
Right.
can slide. So
They can
you
slide.
Put it,
Yes.
you put it into an Arctic, and there's water. Okay, then it's maybe a little more.
That's
Let
why
me know,
when you talk
chat.
about home court
Let me know,
advantage.
chat. We've got Herd versus the Owls out here today. Gentoos Rockhoppers. What kind of owls are these? Like that's the other question.
Like,
You
are they
gotta ask
snowy?
them.
Are they barn owls? Are they
Are they
snowy
barn
owls? Are
owls?
they great
Are
horned?
they cute little owls? Are they great
You know,
horn?
the great horned ones? Those are
Yeah.
the scariest of them all. Owls are pretty notoriously good hunters, though.
That's what I was gonna say. They are birds of prey. They go after.
Where penguins are more like fishermen. I think they just are good at snagging
Fish.
fish. They certainly don't fight other birds.
This is total try, ladies. I believe.
Powaka Wakas, maybe, if the Powaka Wakas were able to get up down there.
Total try, ladies 2 in the Vienna. It's going to be Beth Hobson, Gail Crawford, Gaynor Beckett, Jessica Wilcox, Joe Canning, Kelsey Johnson, Kirsty Evele, and Melanie Brooks out here for the Total Try Ladies 2. A big welcome to your second, or no, third and fourth TTT actually for Jessica Wilcox, as well as Kirsty Evele as they head uphill for their second time. This second time is when the sting, I think, really comes into the legs, Dave. Anybody
Yeah, and
just holding on, it's like really again over the top of this thing, and you put so much in the first time around. Looks
uh-oh,
like Hobson. I think they're going back for Canning. I think she's waiting for
just
Canning
taking
to
a
kind
break.
of.
They're going to keep
Yeah, look,
5.
this is great. They're gonna
Good
create
job.
this dragon's tail. They're gonna create this tail to kind of get on the back end, spread that out a little bit, and you're gonna be able to perhaps keep this together and all finish together. Great on Total Try Ladies, keeping them all together.
There or thereabouts, right? I mean, that's a nice teammate move that we just witnessed. So credit where credit is due. It's really every woman for herself now. They're getting into it. You can see the next K and a half. So once you go past 25K, you then start this quick descent and hightail your way to the finish line. But right now, as Nathan said, this is as bad as it gets. You've already been up this climb once. This is your second trip. You're pretty rugged. You're 23K into a tough day, but that's 46 minutes of hard racing, and you've got a ways to go. Not for the weak of heart out here.
RCP. Look at this. This is kind of cool.
Yikes.
That looks like a Betty design. It says right there on the front.
100% it does.
It looks like a new Betty design though.
I've never seen it. Yeah, the pink with the skull and crossbones, it's definitely a statement kit. This is not, you don't roll up to your local cafe ride without people taking note.
And this is going to
Who
be
are
the
these
RC Pile
badasses?
Rebelunas. The Rebelunas is who we're looking at, I believe. Am I wrong about
Even
that?
the name has a certain swagger to it, right?
Oh, this may be. So there's two different RCP though. It looks like. Interesting enough. See if we can match the names up here. And or maybe this is just riders who fall off. That's what happened there. Excuse me. Sorry about that. It's just riders who had fallen off the pace, actually, as I believe we are going to be in with Anika Kloss, Jennifer Onensord, Katharina Stark, Kirsten Koch, Manuela Bootsman, Nicole Meyer, and Sandra Lowe. Sandra Lowe with 2 TTs underneath their belt, as well as Kirsten Koch coming in for 2 as well. So this is going to be their third. What a team time trial to do for your third team time trial.
Yeah, this is
Out on
not a
this
good
Bologna
starter
course.
GTG.
They look like they're doing fairly well with their experience, though, that they do have. As we take a look at the current situation with the Viennas, they are currently in third place at a 34:05, 16 kilometers in.
No,
So it's not like they're struggling too badly.
no, and it is a mindset is important to talk about there, Nathan. Where if you start with a team that is hell bent on trying to race to win and get the fastest time, well, no, this wouldn't be a great place to start. But if you're with an encouraging, motivating team that's looking to keep everybody together, well, yeah, really challenging course. But if you're with the right group of ladies to help nurture you along, you certainly won't find any courses tougher than this, and you can certainly do it. So we'll take a look at some more splits coming in, as this is going to be our Vienna category with the Team Bs from Kirkmeyer at 33:10. They're about a half minute quicker than the Owl Bike team, who are having a phenomenal ride in the second spot. You can see the RC Field, the Rebelunas, third quickest. And that's a good look right there at where the Viennas stand. Is they're about halfway through the second lap, or nearing the halfway point of the second lap out here in Bologna. And they're going to be well over an hour in the saddle for this category.
Gonna jump across over to our Vienna Frappes as the name here is this is gonna be Amy Young. Wifey 112 is what she's named herself in game as she's riding for the Crush Pod team. It looks like. But no, this is Joe. Is this no? Maybe I've got this wrong. It's Coalition Equinox. Excuse me. I clicked on Amy Young, but it didn't actually bring me over to her. It brought me over to one of the Crush Pod riders. Now I'm not sure. I'm not matching in game to a Coalition rider. Interesting enough. So, but this is going to be Crush Pod that we are looking at, obviously, as we see in game here. There's actually 2 Crush Pod teams out here today. And we'll see which one are we with. We're with Crush Pod Spiced Frappe is who we are in with. There we go. So it's going to be Carly Graham, Claire McCavoy, Alina Alacron, Frankie Vidler, Joe Graham, Leanne Daly, and our Robins out here. That's and they are currently. Let's go ahead and bring over our splits here with these frappes and smashing it right now to 29:58. The fastest time though is a 29:21. Their sister team from regular Crush Pod. So we'll see if they're able to bring back those seconds. If the second time over the top is any better. Coalition Equinox there at a 49:32. That's a pretty big time. Is it going to fall, Dave? Because this is the category we were talking about. The longest standing course record for Bologna.
This goes back to
today.
week 6, right?
Week 6. Week 6.
Yeah. Well, I predicted, I strongly believed it would. What is the time again?
58:11 is the time.
58:11. And they've got right now, they are at, let's call it 3 point, now I'll be conservative and call it 3.6K. Yeah. Yeah, they can do it. I think they will do it, actually. Running it through my supercomputer brain.
I think this is the team that has the fastest time right now. I'm not positive, though.
Crush Pods. This is Spiced Frappe.
Where's the rest of Debbie's team?
Uh-oh. Boy, does Debbie do her work. We're such a big fan. An encouraging, super fun person.
I think the rest of the team is up the road.
That's Rave we're talking about. Looks like it just went bonkers out there for them. They're all over Italy.
32:03 was the last time that they had, it looks like. So they were one of the top teams. So I think maybe struggling a little bit today. Not the usual for Rave. As they make their way around course. Crush Pod here, 47:22. They just came on through. That is going to be
psychologically. Nathan, when you are climbing and you've still got a ways to go and you see those teams flying down the descent, does it encourage you or discourage you?
For me, it is like I got to go get them.
Yeah, right. Now you see they're going at about 1,000 miles an hour.
You're mad that they're going so fast and that they're done with their descent already, and you're like, no.
You see them taking a drink out of their bottle, right? Like, oh my gosh, I have to go get that person. 47:22 for Crush Pod it's within shouting distance for Spiced Frappes, but it looks like it might be a Crush Pod 1-2 today. Zed Sun Hypernova, they're going to be looking to upset that apple cart out there as they're only 5 seconds behind Crush Pod. Really about 1K of climbing left after that time check is taken. The third check at 24K in. Total distance today, 32 kilometers. As you can see, this team now down to 2K to go. Time taken off of your fourth rider's wheel out here. So they're in good shape at this point. It's going to be fun to watch. We're wondering, this is the Vienna Frappes where we're wondering, does the longest standing record in WTRL going back over 2 years ago, 140 weeks, Nathan. So we're within 3 months of 3 years of WTRLs happening every single Thursday like clockwork.
Goes to show the commitment of not only the community riders and WTRL together, making this happen week in and week out as Crush Pod look to do what they do. And they are chasing down Coalition Equinox here. A little bit of a battle happening in front of our eyes just to hold them off. Vidler, Joe, Graham, and the rest here got them within sights. A little bit of a kick now coming on through from Leanne, making away to the front for 33 kilometers per hour. The two that have been dropped off, they're going to just roll in. Sox Watts, Odd Sox now, making their way to the line as well. Looks like Vertislow here dropping a couple of their riders. Not exactly what you want to see. We see them having to go down to 1.9 here as they have to wait for the rest of the Slovenian team for the ladies here. And that is not always what you want to see, Dave, in this situation. Definitely want to keep things together. But on the downhill, we did see earlier, I mean, this is where time gets lost. If you don't keep it all together, that is crucial seconds that just went away because of the reality of the speeds that were held on the downhill. You don't hold the draft. Big heads up to anyone on extreme descents. You don't get in that draft, the group can just roll away with a huge amount of speed. And this is a lesson learned, that's for sure. Barbara Medved, Katrina Breniselj, going to be Morka Faganel, Nina Nesimer, and Tanya Zedov, Urska Pekov, riding for this team. I'm probably slaughtered each and every one of those names.
You said Slovenia, right?
Slovenian. Yes, Slovenian.
Virtue Slow is another team that's been really impressive. They've got 4 together here with about 3.3K to go. So that's enough to get a time out of this group. So certainly press on. Don't wait at this point. Crush Pod with that 47.22 just riding out of their skin today. And Crush Pod 2, Spice Frappe sitting second quickest time as we're right now the run into the finish here for our Vienna Frappe riders. Just hitting that 1 hour mark out there right now for Virtue Slow.
I'm just going to show something here real quick. And we've had a discussion a lot today about breaking records, right? Well, as we jump around a little bit here and people are finishing up, we're going to get in with Aeonian. This was one of the call-outs people are asking for. One of the Aeonian riders here in the latte, still making her way around. And then it's going to be the Wadi Peppers here, also in our Vienna category. But as the results start to come in, Dave.
Let's take a look.
Sox Watch WRT actually did Zone 2 this morning and didn't even beat their own record from December 24th last year at a 50-51. That's 20 seconds slower than what they did it last year. So, I mean, the Rachel Elliott crew, they just have the experience, the power, the high-no legs. I mean, it's just all there still.
So that's basically high-no, right? I mean, more or less.
High-no and Kiss Racing Team,
right.
Old school KRT coming together.
To beat Wahoo, remembering that Wahoo Lacole had that hiccup there.
That's true, but I mean,
but still, that's
20,
not a
though.
minute 5.
Yeah,
right. I'm with you. That says a lot about Sox for Watts ain't going anywhere. They're still the best team in the WTRL at this point. In with Z.R. Scott and Paula here. She's and the team have less than 3K to go.
As far as the times go so far for the ZR Scott's team, it will be a solid 6th place right now at 56.42, trying to bring back a few seconds there for the total try. Ladies, the Wadi Peppers out here as well, hammering away. Where are they standing? That's going to be the outright. How would you say that? I'm not even gonna try at this point. 55-39. Tardes. 55-39 for the Lay Watts. Wadi Peppers Watts sisters. as
Our
devote
Quebecois friends or Quebecers.
the American way to say it. The Quebec word. I like it. They make their way around course here.
Well, very challenging day. It's been a tradition in the WTRL to have super challenging courses right at Christmas time and New Year's. I'm not even sure what's coming up next week. I haven't looked yet. Um, if I remember, wasn't Alp de Zwift a part of the team time trial WTRL?
Next week, and we will be taking the week off for broadcast, everyone, for next week's broadcast, as the Smash Fest that will be the Alp de Zwift is not necessarily two
It's not
things.
great TV, is it?
No, it's not. It's not necessarily exactly what we're looking to show, but definitely good luck to everybody out there. I may do it myself. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Maybe we'll just show my suffering. We'll just do a
Yeah, go to
ZCL
Twitch. Go to
broadcast of
Nathan's
me.
Twitch
Well, we
channel.
might just do it on ZCL. Maybe we'll just show. Here's what it looks like to climb the Alp de Zwift. And we'll see. We'll see what we want to do there. That'd be kind of interesting.
Funny. Here's what it looks like to climb Alp de Zwift faster than you do normally.
Well,
You'd be like,
we'll see.
yeah.
We'll see. There's
Yeah.
some pretty strong riders out here. So.
Yeah, it depends on who the you is that we're talking about.
Yeah,
In my case,
yeah,
I meant
yeah.
me. Yeah. So, well, this is the 1K to go right here for Sarah of the Aeonian team.
Yeah, we had a request. Show Aeonian. Show Aeonian. Well, we're in with Aeonian,
A
and we're in
beautiful
with
kit.
Galaxy. And it does look like Aeonian got him right before they crossed the line. Hansen
Nice.
with the kick. Here we go. French hens as well.
3 French hens.
What is?
2
Oh, I
turtle
love
doves.
the name Geese Lane. That's why they wanted us to show them. They had all the names in there. Good
2 turtle doves, partridge in a pear tree. I'm gonna guess.
I appreciate them for doing that very much.
Good spirit
Apologies.
there.
Man, I wish I would have got to that earlier. We should just sing the song for him now.
That'll be my Christmas gift to everyone that I won't sing
he
the
will
song.
not sing the song.
Yeah. Z.R. Scott, bringing it home. 1.2K to go.
Aeonian gave to me 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, and 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. Thank you so much, Aeonian. Appreciate you.
Yeah, they've been great.
Not the rave music at all. As Tiku makes her
There's
way
4
around.
calling birds.
Did you see birds somewhere out on course just now?
I see the name calling birds.
Oh, okay. That's why I started singing from that point.
Triggers you.
Yeah, 5. Oh man, I don't even know what they all are right now. I sang it so many times. I got right as soon as I saw calling birds. I got right into sending. Came right through.
Well, big day of racing. I mean, you're seeing times at 1 hour and 6 minutes of team time trialing out here, as just about everybody should be done and dusted after 32 Ks of racing here in Bologna. 2 trips up the signature climb, where the decisive part of today's race. We'll get a good look at how many records were broken out here today, and a look at our results up to the minute with our 19 different zones out racing. We've got a few more teams of the 655 total teams that'll be racing later today, but this will give us a good feel for where things stand right now. Right here, right now, the 140th WTRL in a row.
We are getting a couple of comments coming on through. Good to see Alien Spore Bomb hanging out over on Twitch. Of course, a Twitch name. Loving it. As he's saying, Alp de Zwift, it's going to be a slog next week. I agree with you 100%. Andy Bev always comes in with a great comment at the end of his race. He says, great race. Close finish in Mocha. Hurricane pipped by 13 seconds, but we did lose a rider with dodgy Wi-Fi. So still on track for world champs unless secret rhino breeding program is successful. Oh my goodness.
That's funny.
Tough course. Yeah,
All right.
appreciate you jumping in with us, Teppy. Cassie, we did jump in with Galaxy for a moment. I love it that you have Galaxy as a logo for your YouTube. Loving it. And, this is a great way to end the broadcast of the racing so far, and we'll jump in with the results in a second. And happy holidays to everyone out there. Debbie Woods, Turner, to you as well. Really appreciate all the chat and everybody who jumps in with us. You guys are all awesome and would not have this without you. Well, Dave, results are coming in. They're just finishing up in the Viennas, and all the men are done for the day for the Platinum League. But there's plenty more racing the rest of the day, all the way through all of the zones. So these will be the times that were set for Platinum League, though. Coming up for next week, Dave, we are going to be in with just the chase race. We've got kind of a quieter week with the holidays here, which is we all need a little bit of a break maybe before we go full gas into ZRL. Lots of prep already happening for ZRL. We've got some new features we're hearing about that are going to be coming in, so I'm pretty excited about that. Again, the course records that we did have, what was broken is going to be the question, but in with let's go ahead and jump on over to the boys quickly here. And in with the Doppio out of zone 9. Restart showing up on the day. I thought that Toyota Cryo RDT was going to be unstoppable, but Evo Warriors and Restart both dominate at the top here. The VCR Doggos, they come on through, and then it's going to be Vision with a 49.50 in this Doppio. But Restart showing that they are here to definitely make a statement right now. Have any of these? Is that a new?
Well, that's a new course record for Restart there with it.
You're
it was
right.
46.30. So 46.15 is going to be the new benchmark. 46.37 was the previous fastest time. So only Restart gets inside of that. Evo Warriors with the 47.12 is second quickest. Again, this is up to the moment. More teams will be out there contesting. I don't know that that's going to be beaten, though. Toyota Cryo RDT, who we were watching, third quickest time. VCRT, the Doggos, fourth, and Vision, fifth quickest time. That's for the Doppios here on week 140 of WTRL.
New course record. I love it. I love it when this happens. Absolutely awesome to see. In with the Espressos. Oritz comes on through with a 49.19, and that is a new course record set on December 23rd, 2021. Jet Racing Team, 7 seconds back. Close racing here, as you can see. The Team Toothless Country Boys, they take second here. Smears, Frey, Espresso there. 16 seconds back. Third, Dirt Tickler, fourth, and Zed Bro. Monteith Monsters in fifth. Virtuslow Hazard in sixth. It's going to be Eat Dirt in seventh. Adam Racing Team Photons in eighth. ZTRBR, Lobo, Guerra in for ninth. And Tretton. What does Tretton stand for? I hope I don't regret asking that question. To step. That's the translation in German to English. So they came on through, but they just got taken out by the Dynamos, it looks like, just a moment ago. But we know what Tretton means now, at least. They need to step up one more place in order to hold on to the top 10. That's not going to be happening with that 50-41 coming from Team CLS Dynamos. In with the Frappes.
And it's Dirt Time Chaser, the Zetas with a 50-51, the quickest time. It's only 1:09 quicker than NZ Bro, the Pawaka Wakas, with that's two Platinum League teams. Out of Zone 7 is the Team Swedish Swifters, Skumtomte at the third quickest time. It's then in fourth, Coalition Hyperon. Fifth is Vikings Jormunger. Sixth is ZR Scott Kelpie. Seventh, Eat Dirt 007. Eighth, Zed Sun R Saturn. Ninth, Backpedal 2. And your 10 fastest times so far today, Schmears Frey Frappe with that 53.09. That's your Frappe's top 10.
And in with the lattes, it's Virtuslow the Struge there with a 56.50 out of zone 8, actually. Platinum League Kirchner Latte, 24 seconds back, 57.14. On the drops with a 57.38. That was the fastest time coming in to this Platinum League start, but Virtuslow was able to take it out. But out of zone 8, so they just finished up and took that down. It's going to be Appentrotto Latte 1 with a 4th place. Vikings Valhalla 5th. Team Type 1 Lancens in for 6th. Tamworth CC1 in 7th. DBR Blue Arrows currently hanging out in 8th. Team ODZ, the Cookie Monsters, destroying the cookies in 9th, and Kirschman Latte 3. They're rounding out your top 10.
All right, after 32 kilometers of racing in Bologna, it was Zed Sun R Nebula with the fastest time out of zone 8 with the 108.26 to be on top of the leaderboard. Look how close it was. Less than 13 seconds back to TFC Hurricane. Virtue Slow Banco, third quickest time. You've then in fourth got WYP2. Team Type 1 Glauconauts rounding out your top 5. Fastest times currently are our Sumatran Rhinos in 6th. Drafting Dinos UKM 7th. Giant Camden Holy Rollers in 8th. WCC Dragons TTT 9th, and then Eat Dirt Trois. That's your 10 fastest times for our Mochas.
And in with the Vienna Espressos, WRT doing what they do. The probably strongest team we've ever seen in team time trialing. Sox Watts, WRT, the super team. Do it again. Out of zone 2, 50-51. Wahoo Cole, the upstart. New riders to the scene. Thought they might be able to challenge, but it's a minute 5 back in second there. Sox Watts, Aero Unicorns round out the top 3. It's going with a 53-44. And then C-Star Race Like a Girl, 54-11. TFC Vixen, 56-56. Wahoo Cole was in for 6th. And look at those time gaps. Really goes to show what a difficult course it is out there today as we head on over to the Vienna Frappe.
And it's Vikings Valkyrie on top of the table here out of zone 3 with the 58.55, 59.02, the time for Crush Pod, sitting with the second quickest time. It's Crush Pod again, this time Spiced Frappe with the third quickest time. Out of zone 8, Evo Comets in 4th, Zed Sun R Hypernova 5th, and Zed Bro Cheese Rollers in 6th, Socks for Watts, Odd Socks 7th, Sisu Bastet in 8th, Coalition Equinox in 9th, and then Raver rounds out your top 10 times up to the minute here in Vienna Frappe.
Being told by Martin that Vienna Frappe are course records. There's a course record there from that Vikings Valkyrie. I am going to shout out that the Sox Watts WRT team are the only team that held on to the course record from any past goes at this, and that was on December 24th last year with that 50-31. Every other course record was set today. Of course, Sox Watts WRT are the only ones that hold on to it. What a monster of a team here. Galaxy Supernova Velocity coming on in, and I definitely want a big shout out to them as Cassie Webster is in the chat, and she is super excited because I think she knew that this was going to be coming on through. And as it did, she went ahead and brought this on in. Let's see some Galaxy and Vienna Latte, she's saying, and set a course record as big shout out to them. And that is a new course record, actually, for the Vienna Latte. So great job to the Galaxy team on setting it. And thanks for jumping into the broadcast with us there. Crush Pod 2, they hold down for second with a 102.28, 37 seconds back. Cycling Power Women there for third, coming in out of the Platinum League. Only 10 seconds back. Oh, excuse me. 10 seconds back from second there or so. WTRL Watts UPC there in or fourth. As we see some Pluto there in fifth. And it's going to be Vertislow, no doubt, in sixth. Aeonian Bravas in for seventh. Rave Against the Machine in eighth. Zed Scott Elba for ninth. And Vegan Mint are going in for 10th place, 6 minutes back. In with the Viennas, it's some bees buzzing into first.
Yeah, Team Bees with the 106.15 for your fastest time. Look at the Platinum League all over it today. RC Field 1 Rebulinas, second quickest. Owl Bike, third. Total Tri Ladies 2, fourth fastest. Virtue Slow Pink in fifth. Utades 3, Le Watts. JZQC in sixth. ZR Scott Aria, 7th, Angular Speed 8th, Zed Sun R Hydra 9th, and Total Tri Training Ladies 3. Those are your 10 fastest times, and I think we're already into zone 12 of 19 out there as we work our way around the globe here on WTRL's Time Trial Thursdays. That's your Viennas.
And let's see, make sure we got this in for next week. We are in for 141. Road to the Sky. It's only 10.7 miles, people. No big deal. right? 17. That's got to be our shortest TTT we've got.
What's
Sign
the
up.
problem?
No
Yeah.
problem at all. 7 p.m. UK time, 1 p.m. Central time. Next Wednesday is the cutoff, and it is the celebration of a Happy New Year coming on in. Is what it is looking forward to. I have a feeling that's why we got fireworks out on Alp Zwift there. So make sure to sign up, and we will see you for that next week. And perhaps you'll get to see some Nathan suffering here live on ZCL. If we do broadcast it, that's what will be broadcast. But thanks everybody for tuning in. If you haven't done so already, hit those follow buttons, subscribe, comment, like. It helps the channel a ton. We are live on Facebook. We're live on Twitch. We are live on Twitter. And we are live on YouTube. Head on over to WTRL.racing for all of the rest of the results the rest of the day. Plenty of zones still to go. We'll see who still qualifies for Platinum League, as well as maybe more course records to be broken. Only the rest of the day will tell. Dave, thanks a lot. Happy holidays. We'll see you.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, everyone.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. Happy New Year, all that stuff. Because, Dave, we're not going to see you until after the New Year, I believe, here on ZCO. Well, Chase race, though, with Anna next week. And it'll be a new year. We'll be right into the heel, like right on the heels of ZRL next season, season 2 here for 2022. And we're super excited for that.
Well, happy holidays, everyone. Thanks for a great year.
Yep, and we will see you soon. Ride on. Thank you.